For Action News, I'm Anna Dulosky. We here at ACTIA are having a field day with the latest scare tactics on the chemical compound BPS. Yes, the one that replaced BPA in plastic bottles. And it isn't looking so great after all. Ironically enough, some activists won't even touch cash register receipts because of the minuscule amount of BPA found in thermal paper. And we can't help but wonder if they'll also stop purchasing BPA-free bottles. So what does this all mean? Here's ACTIA's Dr. Josh Bloom with some answers.
In this case, they took BPA and BPS and they compared the effects in the fish tank. And much to their surprise, BPS did whatever it's supposed to do in zebrafish more than BPA did, and they were expecting it to be the other round. What it did was it increased the number of neurons in the brains of the zebrafish more than BPA did and more than just plain water did. Now, what this has to do with anything in humans, I don't know. There are careers that are being made by scaring people about BPA, which has been in use for 50 or 60 years. But BPA-free has certainly become popular. It's just one of the multitude of lies that Whole Foods puts up on their cases to attract people when they're saying there are no artificial preservatives. Well, that's fine because they use natural preservatives just like other foods do. So it's just more of the same nonsense that people buy into. The major knock on BPA is it's something that is called an estrogen mimic. So it's a molecule that is claimed to look like estrogen and to act like it. Now, if you show this to a chemist, it doesn't look anything like estrogen. And if you do biochemical experiments to determine how well it really binds to estrogen receptors, it's barely at all. It's 15 or 20,000 times less strong than estrogen does itself, which means it's really going to never occupy those receptors and it's not going to do anything. Furthermore, it doesn't even stick around because it's really excreted very quickly in the urine, so you can't even really measure it in the blood. And then it gets even crazier when you compare it to some dietary supplements. One of them is called genistein, and that's one of the darlings of today's supplement world. That's an antioxidant, a bioflavonoid, and of course Dr. Oz sells it. And that binds 10 times more strongly to estrogen receptors than BPA does, but people are like stuffing their faces full of it and thinking, oh my goodness, isn't this healthy? For the scares industry, this is just peachy, because there are 24 other letters in the alphabet that you could stick after BP and find something wrong with all of those too. So these guys will never be out of work, and I think that's just great because scientists have a hard time finding a job these days, and if you can't do something useful, you might as well do something useless.
To read more on this story, you can head to our website, actia.org, and while you're there, don't forget to also sign up for your latest dose of news delivered straight to your inbox. For Action News, I'm Anna Dulosky.